In this lesson, I'll show you how to create shockwaves inside Embergen. Here in the scene, I created two shockwaves, one of them using the volume emitter and the other one using the particle emitter. Let's take a look at the volume emitter first. Let's hit play. You can see we have standard shockwave. And let's go ahead and turn that off, and I'm gonna turn on the particle shockwave. And you can see we have more details there and more interesting result using the particles. So it's up to you which one you want to use. I'm gonna show you both of them. So let's go ahead and open new project, and let's go ahead and set the simulation size. This one maybe 200 by 200, and I'm gonna lower that maybe to 80 or 70. Let's apply. I think we're gonna make it maybe 250 for now, so we have approximately 6 million voxel. So let's go ahead, first move the particles there, and I'm gonna use the torus to do that. And I like to go ahead and delete all of these nodes. I don't know, it's so annoying for me because they are showing there. So let's go ahead and animate the shape first. Before I animate that, I need to go to visuals and show emitter. So let's go ahead to the first frame, and let's go ahead and set a key there, holding shift, and set a key, and let's set both of them 0 by 0, and at frame maybe 15, let's set this one to 0.3 and this one maybe to 5, and let's hit play. Let's go ahead and remove the emission of the fire. So let's go ahead and set the fuel emission to no emission, and we have just the smoke. So I like to go ahead to the shading and under the smoke, because we don't have any fire, so we don't need this node 2. Let's delete that. So let's go ahead and maybe make the color brighter a little bit, and I like to increase the light intensity maybe a little bit just to see it better in the viewport. So now if I go to the shape, and let's go ahead and move the emitters there, and now if I hit play, you may see we have some gaps. I want to show you the gaps when you have fast animation. So let's change the radius at frame 10 to maybe 7, and you can see we have some gaps there. And if I go to the shading again, and let's scroll down to the smoke, and then I'm gonna increase the smoke density, so you can see we have gaps there, and I can fix that or lower the gaps amount by going to the volume emitter, and in the emission gradient you may want to increase that a little bit more. So you can see we are fixing that. It didn't fix it completely. Let's maybe set that to 40. And now we can go ahead, and for the radius, I like to set that lower, maybe 0.2. And we can break the shape more by going to the volume again, and in the pressure, if I increase that, let's set that maybe to 80, and you can see we have some interesting result, some variation. So if I go there, and I can change the random scale from here too, and random intensity, let's set that to 120. We have more pressure. And we have thicker radius because of the gradient, because we increase the gradient. So let's set that maybe back to 10, but now we're gonna get the gaps there, as you see. And because the animation is so fast, we can move it there. And now we remove the gaps. As you see, when your animation is fast, you get these gaps. Let's go and play with the pressure more. So you can see we get interesting result. Now let's go ahead and use the particles to create the shockwave. Let's go ahead and delete the volume emitter, and we're gonna use the same shape. Let's connect it to the shape, and let's enable the particles, and let's see what's gonna happen. As you see, we already got something interesting. And we don't have to animate the shape, we can just go ahead and delete the keys. Just delete them. Okay, so let's go ahead and set that maybe to 0.4 and increase the radius. Maybe this one a little bit lower. And I can control the speed now by going to the initial forces, and I can set the speed scale maybe to 4. So fast, the particles shooting so fast. As you see, it's really so easy to create the shockwaves inside Embergen, and even the explosions, it's so easy. And now we can animate that, the emission. Let's go ahead and click there once, and maybe after few frames, we forgot to set a key. After few frames, let's turn it off, and we have interesting result. You can go to the active forces and play with the volume. So basically this will affect the particles, how they will follow the smoke. So let's turn them on first. Now if I play, you can see the particles following the smoke, and if you decrease that, the particles will not follow the smoke. So as you see, they are shooting outside. So it's up to you. Let's reset that, and you can play with the velocity damping too. Let's set that maybe to 80, and you can see the particles losing their energy over time very fast. If you increase the life of the emitter, this will emit more smoke too. As you see, the particles are dying fast. You can control the life from here. This will emit more smoke if you increase the lifetime of the particles, as you see. It's cool.